Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, an early morning crash closed a busy highway and ferry service, leaving 2 Victoria residents dead and 1 person jailed. Plus, local Memorial Day services offer the community a chance to remember, reflect, and pay tribute together. And a flight to Houston took an unexpected detour after a pair of mid-air incidents left passengers and crew with quite a story to tell.
So far, so good for our Memorial Day. We had a few little light showers today that passed through, but there's some big stuff coming in this week. As a matter of fact, this is only the beginning of what could be a fairly soggy week in the Crossroads. I'll have all the latest coming up in a moment.
And a heartfelt Memorial Day tribute outside a home has sparked an unexpected neighborhood controversy. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shawna Currie. A deadly crash shut down Highway 361 in Aransas Pass and ferry service to Port Aransas for several hours early this morning. Aransas Pass police say it happened around 2:50 a.m. when a Dodge Ram 2500 hit a parked Kia on Highway 361 near Harbor Island Road, causing the truck to roll over. A 32-year-old man and a 40-year-old woman, both from Victoria, were killed at the scene. Third passenger was taken to the hospital. Her condition is unknown. 2 people in the Kia were also checked for injuries. The driver was arrested for DWI. Police believe alcohol was involved and a factor in the crash. They have not released any names due to the ongoing investigation. On this Memorial Day today, we honor our veterans who have made the ultimate sacrifices for our freedoms. Memorial Day events are happening all over the Crossroads, and 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting is with the Warriors Weekend crew as they get ready for the Field of Honor ceremony that will take place in Victoria tonight.
Thanks, Shawna. I'm here with Colonel Michael Petrosh, and we're getting prepared for the Field of Honor ceremony here on Memorial Day. And so thank you for joining me. I just wanted to ask you a few questions, which is, how long did it take to prepare for the ceremony?
Well, I'll tell you what, we have been preparing for this for months. Now, it's funny, we're down into the small muscle movements right now. As you caught us today, we're making our final preparations. We've already got the big pieces out there at the Field of Honor. We're going to have the ceremony. It'll begin at 7 o'clock this evening.
Absolutely. So what are some of those final pieces that you're putting together?
Well, we're getting purple and black bows on the flags out there, which symbolize for us at the Field of Honor, that symbolize killed in action. That is what it's all about today. I appreciate when people say, thank you, Colonel, for your service, but today it's all about those that never came home. And so we're going to be doing that. We're exchanging some flags that are a little battle weary out there. We're going to be putting up a look for the Warriors Weekend blow up canopy, and yeah, again, it's just seating and those things. So we're hoping we get a good crowd out there today.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about this warehouse we're standing in. I see this is where a lot of the assembly
This is where the work goes. This is where the work goes on. As you can tell, it's hot by now, right? So if anybody knows how to insulate a building like this, get in touch with me. We'll take it. As you can see behind me, we're expecting this year to post 2,800 flags. Right now, we've got about 1,200 of them prepared, and we're going to be needing people to assist us with that. So this, again, that happens in October, but this is when we start the work. This is when we're getting it done.
Absolutely. And so just final messages. You already spoke on it a little bit, just how important today is to remember the solemn occasion of this. And could you speak on that a little bit more, just the importance of really taking the time to recognize what has been done for us, our freedoms in our country?
Absolutely. It's let me tell you about when we bring those guys in from Warriors Weekend. I'll guarantee you that 90% of them know somebody that didn't come home. Out there at the Warriors Weekend Field of Honor, and there at what we call the Texas Golden Crescent Gold Star Memorial. That's where the pillars are that have the granite, the black pillars with the black granite, and inscribed are the names of 441 Golden Crescent Texans that never made it home. Now that's since World War I. And so you think about that. This is a very rural area. And so for 441 families in this area, there's always an empty seat at the table.
Absolutely.
So we're here to honor them, and we're here to make sure that their families know that we honor their sacrifice.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Colonel, and we'll
Thank
see
you
you
so
there
much.
at the Field of Honor.
Absolutely. We look forward to it. It's going to be a very nice, very excellent, very honorable service.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, and back to you.
And again, that ceremony gets underway at 7 o'clock tonight. But the community came together in De Leon Plaza this morning to honor the heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice. Victoria's annual Memorial Day ceremony was filled with emotion and gratitude. It opened with a heartfelt prayer, followed by the ringing of a tribute bell as the names of fallen veterans were read aloud. Groups like the VFW, Navy Seabees, and Sons and Daughters of the American Revolution laid wreaths in their memory. Vietnam vet and Purple Heart recipient Walter Carley said it best. The ceremony truly meant a lot to him.
Well, I got wounded in Vietnam. I got shrapnel in my leg. And
these guys always make my day.
I started out with 10%, and now I'm 100%.
Attorney Stephen Tyler gave the Memorial Day address, and the ceremony wrapped with a rifle volley and the playing of taps. President Donald Trump marked Memorial Day by laying a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at Arlington National Cemetery in Northern Virginia. He stood alongside Vice President J.D. Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth during the ceremony. Trump then delivered remarks from the cemetery's amphitheater. The president, in his speech, paid tribute to veterans who, quote, made the ultimate sacrifice for the nation. Trump's address came only a few hours after a Memorial Day social media post that took aim at political opponents and some federal judges. Over the weekend, the president delivered a politically charged commencement address at West Point. Well, the chances of seeing some rain in the Crossroad this week is getting more likely. Let's go to Mac Perez for a first look at the forecast. Mac?
Well, thank you very much, Shawna. We had a little light shower activity that came through. I don't want that to discourage anybody because most of that is gone. But on the big picture, this is the storm that sort of passed through. This is our watershed, and look at this. We've got some big, nasty storms out in far west Texas, and that red area that you see, well, that's a tornado watch for much of the hill country. So we're going to be looking at severe, well, not severe, but increasing thunderstorms around the area for the next couple of days. We'll have a lot more coming up in just a moment.
A golf ball-sized hail pelted Sudan, Texas, northwest of Lubbock last night. Severe storms moved through the area, dumping rain on and producing high winds. And as you can see, large hail covered the small Texas town. The National Weather Service in Lubbock issued a severe storm warning yesterday, and the front heats up and swept across the region overnight. A Tokyo to Houston flight made an unexpected stop in Seattle over the weekend after a passenger tried to open 2 exit doors mid-flight. The FBI says crew and fellow passengers stepped in to restrain the person, who was later taken for a medical evaluation. But that wasn't the only drama. Another frustrated passenger punched a bathroom door and was removed from the flight. No one was hurt, and the rest of the passengers eventually made it to Houston. An Arizona woman trying to keep the memory of her brother alive says that she is facing some pushback from her homeowners association. Kendall Rasmussen says the group sent her a message asking her to take down a display of her brother that she has on her garage. Casey Torres has the details.
A display of patriotism for Memorial Day outside this surprise home comes from the heart.
My brother really loved his country, and I'm very proud, and that's really the point.
Kendall Rasmussen's brother, Sergeant John Daggett, is the fallen soldier the Stars and Stripes honor. He was killed in action in May 2008 when he was 21 years old. Every year, this month becomes a month of mourning for Kendall.
It's been interesting navigating life without him.
But her tribute, specifically this poster magnet on her garage door, is considered a nuisance, according to a letter sent by the HOA management company on May 7th.
Put it in comparison with dead plants and dead trees and bushes, and it was kind of offensive to have it be in this, comparison of what they're calling a nuisance.
She's been told to take it down. In a follow-up email she received Friday, the management company said their intention was not to cause frustration or overlook the significance of the display after Kendall posted about it on social media. The company also claims they noticed the poster up for several months, considering it a permanent exterior feature instead of a decoration. Decorations can go up 30 days before a holiday and taken down 10 days after.
Now, it seems kind of like a repeat process because I've already done this in 2018.
The previous management company fined her $500 for the garage magnet, but after an online petition, she was allowed to keep the display up for other holidays like Independence, Labor, Veterans Day, and her brother's birthday. She believes the new management company is not aware of that. We talked with neighbors, including a man who gifted her this flag, who say they wouldn't mind if she kept the poster up all year long.
I think that they should be able to keep it up and be able to honor the person that they have.
For now, Kendall is trying to get through the month and focus on celebrating her brother's life on Memorial Day.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. A new bill requiring Texas sheriffs to work with ICE is fueling heated debate over border security, local law enforcement, and community impact. Plus, a bill to display the 10 Commandments in every Texas classroom just cleared a major hurdle, but the debate and potential legal battles are far from over. From overcoming challenges to reaching new milestones, our area graduates have shown resilience, determination, and a commitment to their futures. Austin graduated from El Campo High School last week. The message to him: we are so proud of you. Keep chipping away at those goals. We have loved supporting you through your school days and can't wait to see what your future holds. El Campo class of 2025. Wishing the best to Braden. His message: congratulations, Braden. We are so proud of you and can't wait to see what your future has in store for you. We love you. Jerden turned her tassel with Cuero High School's graduating class last week. Sylvia, Matt, Zayden, and Isaiah say we are so happy and proud of you. Keep reaching for the stars. And Julian is a Ganado High School graduate. His brother says, congratulations, little brother. We are beyond proud of you for this accomplishment. I pray that God continues to guide your every step and whatever the future holds for you. I know it will be amazing and you are going to do big things in your life. I love you. You still have time to submit a photo and heartfelt message for your graduate. We are featuring local grads on air and across our social media as our way of celebrating the class of 2025 along with you. Just go to crossroadstoday.com, click on the entertainment tab, then select contest to upload your tribute and share your pride. A Texas DEI ban in public schools gets House approval. Senate Bill 12's supporters say DEI programs use class time and public funds to promote political agendas. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit crossroadstoday.com. A Republican-backed bill to require Texas public schools to place the 10 Commandments in every classroom won preliminary approval this weekend. The House advanced the controversial Senate bill in an 88-49 vote. The outcome sets the stage for the final approval vote from the Senate. And many states have passed a similar bill. However, they have also faced legal challenges, especially in Louisiana, where a federal judge blocked the law, finding it unconstitutional. The Texas House has passed a bill that would require all sheriffs with jails to work with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, allowing local officers to serve immigration warrants. Supporters say Senate Bill 8 is about border security, not immigration reform. Opponents, including immigrant rights groups, warn it could lead to racial profiling and fear in immigrant communities. The bill now heads back to the Senate for final approval before it can land on Governor Abbott's desk. This brings us to our viewer poll today. Should local sheriffs prioritize immigration enforcement or other community issues? Or both equally. So we want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And right now, 63% of voters feel that sheriffs and their departments should focus on other community issues. 14% say both equally. 23% say they should focus on immigration enforcement. So continue voting. We'll have a look at the latest numbers on 25 News Now at 6. The EPA is proposing a controversial plan to eliminate all limits on greenhouse gas emissions from U.S. power plants. Internal documents reviewed by the New York Times show the agency claims carbon dioxide and similar gases don't significantly impact climate change or public health. That's a direct contradiction to what most scientists say, that these emissions are heating the planet and endangering our future. The move is part of a broader push by the Trump administration to challenge mainstream climate science.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. We've got quite a bit of cloud cover. I don't want to discourage anyone from going out to evening activities, especially down at the Field of Honor, because the shower activity right now is pretty much over with for the time being, but not over completely. It's 89 degrees right about now. It's rather steamy. It feels like 102 out there. Our high today was 92, and we didn't get anything out at the rain gauge at the airport, but we did get some wet streets around here. We'll be talking about our increasing rain chance for the rest of the week coming up in a moment. Well, folks, something we haven't seen in a while. We have an alert day coming up because tomorrow we have a very good chance of getting more thunderstorm activity, and I'm talking thunderstorms. So on Tuesday and Wednesday, we have alert days for all of the Crossroads counties because heavy rainfall is looking like it's going to be rolling through, and some of those thunderstorms could be bringing heavy wind and some hail with it. So yeah, it all of a sudden gets quite interesting. Now here's where we are right about now. You saw the little shower activity that sort of passed through this afternoon. It was all fairly light. Right now the heaviest stuff is out there in Houston, Galveston, and beginning to move offshore, but this is the really bad one right there. That's up in the hill country. Now, on this map, you'll see this blue. This is the watershed for the Guadalupe River. So if it falls in there, it's good for us, okay? You see this red, that is a tornado watch for tonight for much from San Antonio northward into the high plains. Now, here's what I'm talking about that's very bad. This is Mason, Texas, as you see right about there. There's possible tornado watches. I mean, they're under a tornado watch. This is a possible tornado in that activity. So these storms will be dropping southeastward. So Kerrville, Canyon Lake and all the way down to San Antonio could be looking at some big weather tonight, and then that comes here tomorrow. Okay, now here's the rainfall total as of the last 24 hours, and you can see it's nothing significant. We had about a fifth of an inch of rain to the north, 1/10 in the downtown area, about 1300s up here headed toward, well, I guess the Wood High area. So here's future tracker. This is going forward. You can see how what we had here today is pulling away. But then you can see that big line north of us in the hill country going to be rolling over San Antonio tonight. And then tomorrow morning, it should be rolling through our area. So at sunrise, according to this model, we should have stormy weather rolling through. It'll be Tuesday morning, a lot of people going back to work and school in some areas. So you've got to watch out for that. Then that line makes it all the way offshore, and that's Tuesday, okay? Tuesday afternoon, get a little break, but by the time we get to Wednesday, we see a big line coming at us from the dry line out in West Texas that will be crossing the state and then rolling over our area as well. This one right now is expected to be a little bit heavier in terms of precipitation, so we've got some active weather to deal with. And you know, so far so good. It held off for today, and of course a lot of people out there on the holiday celebrating. Hopefully they remembered why we have a Memorial Day. Anyway, we're looking for 89 tomorrow with partly cloudy skies, but showers are likely with that line number 1 and then line number 2, which would be the day after. Cuero, thunderstorms early with that line coming through, getting up to about 89, a lot more cloud cover. 7-day forecast, well, we have the alert days for one line of storms, a second line of storms, possibly a third. So all of a sudden, we're back in the rain business from pretty much all of the crossroads. That is your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And we'll toss it back to Shawna.
Well, still to come, a major GOP spending bill is making waves in Washington. But with deep cuts, big tax breaks, and ballooning debt, it is far from a done deal in the Senate. The list of arrests is growing in connection to the recent jailbreak in New Orleans. Over the weekend, 2 more people were arrested and charged as accessories after the fact. Both are being held on $1 million bond. Another woman sharing a last name with one of the escapees was also taken into custody. That brings the total to at least 9 accused of helping the inmates, and authorities warn more arrests could be on the way. Arkansas authorities are searching for an escaped inmate who is a former police chief. Grant Hardin was serving a 30-year sentence for first-degree murder when officials say he escaped from the North Central Unit prison in Calico Rock. Officials say he was also serving an additional sentence on a rape charge. The Arkansas Department of Corrections says Hardin was wearing a makeshift outfit designed to mimic law enforcement when he escaped. Officials are investigating the events leading up to his escape. Hardin is the former police chief of Gateway, which is a town in Benton County, Arkansas. Well, there's a new reptile food recall. Spectrum Brands is voluntarily recalling its tetrareptomin food for aquatic turtles due to potential salmonella contamination. The recall involves a specific lot that was being sold at retailers including Petco, Walmart, Chewy, and Amazon. No illnesses have been reported. The Republican-led House has passed what President Trump's calling his Big Beautiful Bill, a massive plan that promises trillions in tax cuts, but also includes deep cuts to programs like food stamps and Medicaid. Now it's headed to the Senate, where it faces a tougher road ahead. Jen Sullivan breaks down what's inside and what's next.
The Republican-led House narrowly passing a spending bill Thursday. The ambitious legislation could be modified by the Senate. President Donald Trump calling it the Big Beautiful Bill, which focuses on slashing taxes and federal spending.
We're cutting over $1.5 trillion in federal spending.
One potential problem, increased debt. The Congressional Budget Office says the legislation would add another $3.8 trillion to the already huge U.S. debt. Fiscally conservative Republicans in the Senate aren't happy about that, and Democrats argue tax cuts would go largely to the rich.
The GOP tax scam represents an assault on the economy.
The bill passed by the House would mean deep cuts to programs like SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which provides food stamps for roughly 42 million Americans. The Congressional Budget Office's recent analysis of the bill found it would strip roughly 3.2 million people of their food stamp benefits in an average month over the next decade. Some Republicans think it doesn't slash spending enough and want to see further cuts.
The first goal of our budget reconciliation process should be to reduce the deficit.
While Democrats worry these cuts will only hurt already struggling Americans.
Democrats should be figuring out not just how to stop these cuts, but to give the American people a vision for what a modern healthcare system that looks like the rest of the industrialized world would look like for the American people.
President Trump has said he would like the legislation to clear the Senate by July 4th, but that may be optimistic. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Well, think you've mastered the paper airplane? One record-setting flight might just make you rethink your folding game. The details coming up next.
This week, as families celebrate graduations, the potential impact of President Trump's Harvard ban on education in America, plus the trade war taking aim at your iPhone. World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast.
Well, forget kites. Today is all about paper airplanes. It is National Paper Airplane Day. People have been folding and flying them for over a century, maybe even longer if you ask ancient China. I'm sure it's one of their origami
I'm sure it is.
characters. The biggest one ever was built in Germany with a wingspan of nearly 60 feet.
What?
And the longest paper. And the longest flight, 226 feet. So go ahead, look up a new design, fold one up, and launch it at a coworker. You know, if your boss isn't amused, maybe it's time to freshen up your resume and then use your resume as an airplane. I don't know.
Okay.
So we kind of put together a couple different models here.
This is my model from 4th grade.
And I don't know the trick to really getting a good paper airplane, but yeah, that one didn't go very far.
That one didn't either.
You know, we'll keep working on it.
We'll keep working on it. All right, folks, the good news is that the shower activity we had earlier today, that's pretty much gone, so no problems for evening activities. However, by tomorrow morning, we may see a line of storms that's already in the hill country moving down to our area. Therefore, we have alert days for Tuesday and Wednesday, possibly even Thursday, as 2 and 3 different lines of storms move through our area. This is big. This is significant. We haven't had significant rain like this in quite some time.
All right, and graduations start Thursday, Friday, Saturday through the weekend, so we'll be keeping an eye on it.
Right now, we've got shower activity all the way through Thursday, so it's going to be something to watch.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Be sure to be back in just 30 minutes after World News Now with David Muir.